AITA for being okay with cheating unless it has my own relationship. I'll make this short and sweet. I am dating somebody now and I would never cheat on them, and I hope for expect them to never cheat on me too. We got in an argument earlier because I admitted that before I met him, I didn't see a problem with me being the other woman because quite frankly they were a team, my relationships, and if somebody expressed interest in me, I felt like it was okay because I am not cheating on breaking trust with a partner. I am just living out a fantasy or kink, along with the man I am sleeping with who is as well. My boyfriend's point of view is that cheating in any form by all parties is wrong and he doesn't know if he can trust that I won't cheat on him because I've openly admitted to being the other woman. My point of view is that I love him and I would never want to hurt him in that way, and it wasn't my fault that the men in other relationships lied to their partners, and it's not my fault that they wanted to do those things with me. I will admit that it can be morally questionable to be a homewrecker, but I feel like the blame should be on the person actually in the relationship, not the person who was chosen. So Reddit, AITA for being okay with other people's cheating. Your moral compass needs calibration. Enabling the bad behavior of others makes you complicit in that bad behavior. Absolutely. Funny you would not want it done to you, but you have no problem being a catalyst for extreme emotional turmoil in someone else's relationship. If you see someone being beaten, and you hand a stick to the abuser so they can hit harder, you still suck. I know that is a dramatic analogy, but if you know that you are with a cheater, you fail morally at this point if you continue enabling it. Maybe not as much as the cheater, but it is still really bad. I would not be upset if he leaves OP for this. This sort of behavior is reprehensible, as well as a hypocrite. So if your cheats on you with a family member friend, then according to your logic you will still have a good relationship with them as it was not their fault you showed interest in them. Well, not exactly. I was saying I am okay with other people cheating because it's not my relationship, but I only did those things when I was a single woman. Now that I am in a committed relationship, in love, and we were honest with each other, I felt like I could be open about some of my past experiences where I was never in a relationship. I was only the other person involved with someone who was in one. Regarding your question, yes, I would be mad at them both and not have a good relationship because our trust was officially broken, and I understand that the girlfriends of the men I've been with, if they ever found out, would been understandably mad at me too, but it's not something that would really trouble me because it wasn't my relationship. So that's why I am asking this, because the argument is stemming from cheating, which is something I technically never did. I was the person cheated with, and it's something I'll never do, but he doesn't know if he can trust me because of my past. There was some confusion, so I am just saying I wouldn't be mad at some random woman for being the other woman. The question that was asked is if I'd be mad at both my partner and a close friend or family member, in which case I would be upset because there was already a trust built with all parties. Any person that I'd been with who was in a relationship by chance, I did not know already, and I especially didn't know or was related to their spouse. For some reason I missed that this was not purely hypothetical but something you've done multiple times. Aw heck number, if I were your partner I'd be so done. Thankfully he's not me, so I guess we LLC. I wish him good luck. OP. Like many have said, it takes two to tango. Being that other person makes you just as guilty. I do not blame your boyfriend. You said you're fine with being the homewrecker. It brings paranoia. If I had a partner who had a history of being the other woman, I would not trust them. Listen OP, in your logic, you are restrained to only participate in cheating when it seems best for you when you are single, and you expect it to have no repercussions since you're just the person they cheated on with. Not everybody, including your boyfriend, shares that logic. When they see that you have actively participated in it, they not only see you as a hypocrite, but also a serial cheater. I agree with this logic. I do not know how you can save this relationship if your boyfriend does not see and accept your logic, and do not force him to. But yeah, it is not great, but I do not think the blame is 50-50. A mistress has not made a commitment and is not breaking both moral and legal vows. Both suck. but it is definitely like an 80-20 split on who sucks more. I kinda agree with it, as it is the other person's responsibility to remain loyal, but I think you can understand why OP's boyfriend would be angry and paranoid. Yeah, who would be thrilled to hear a shrug emoji approach to cheating, but I completely understand her point that only one person cheats on a relationship, whether it be with an escort or a long-term mistress. You're right that the person who was in the relationship gets heavy responsibility, but that doesn't exempt you from wrongdoing. You knowingly engaged in and don't care about the act of cheating. A good person would tell the man's partner that they tried to use you to cheat. You've proven yourself untrustworthy from that standpoint. Although you haven't cheated on your partner, your past and current actions are the only thing your partner can go off of. You say that recognize that cheating is a bad thing and therefore your boyfriend should trust you, but your actions and your lack of regret do not support that. While the primary blame goes to the men who cheated, you had a very active role in allowing that to happen. Even bystanders who do nothing to help or prevent an immoral act often have some blame in it. You probably, at least unconsciously, encouraged them to cheat since it was your sexual fantasy. Your explanation might be reasonable if it was that until you were in a relationship you didn't realize how important that commitment was and that you now regret what you did while you were single. But you literally only think cheating is bad when it messes with your relationship, which means that you do not consider it to be as bad as your boyfriend does. In my opinion, the other party is complicit. If you didn't rob the bank, but drove the getaway car, you're still guilty. Maybe you didn't cheat on your partner, but you helped someone do something cowardly and deceitful and were complicit in someone's pain. Why would you want to do that? OP is basically admitting to being an accomplice to the crime, or at least an accessory. Just because they are charged less than the person actually committing the crime does not mean they are not guilty. They knowingly helped the other person commit their crime and are just as awful of a person as the one committing it. Just because OP is not charged for what she did, it does not mean it was not a terrible thing to do and that people should not look down on her for it. Because they have every right to. I do not blame the boyfriend at all for being uncomfortable with OP being a homewrecker. Even if he was not worried about her cheating on him, which is completely reasonable for him to worry about, he still absolutely has the right to be disturbed that someone he is close with has such an awful set of morals and sees nothing wrong with getting in between someone else's relationship. Every relationship and situation is different, and I get that it's easy to justify it in your head. It's not my relationship nor my responsibility to be faithful. I wouldn't even judge if it was like a one-time thing, but if you repeatedly have affairs with married men, that, to me, shows a lack of character and responsibility that would bug me as your current partner. Obviously, but I would like to commend your flexibility. The mental gymnastics to think you are not a bad person when you are knowingly involved in cheating is impressive. It's not morally questionable. Cheating is wrong. You can find a non-committed or open relationship if that's your deal. What you told your boyfriend is you are okay with cheating but wouldn't do it to him because you're happy with him. But in a serious relationship you need to trust that even in rough patches, it's still you and your partner. That you would respect them enough to leave before you moved on. If I were your partner, I'd leave. You can and should be honest with partners about your thoughts on relationships, but it's absolutely fine for this to be a deal breaker for your boyfriend. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.